All right. Well, do we want to hear Bob Leather, or do we want to continue on with this whole age thing?
Well, we can do both. I'm sure somewhere in Bob Leather's thing I'll find an opening.
I'm sure you will. All right. Well, Bob Leather called into the show because aside from his own Filth Radio show, the CMS is his favorite forum.
Right.
For voicing his thoughts and opinion, and he definitely has an opinion on the new Iron Maiden release.
Right.
So let's jump into some Bob Leather.
All right.
This is Bob Leather from Filth Radio Network. When Neely's not busy sucking Don Dawkins' dick, Chris isn't talking about that stupid fucking goddamn pinball museum for the 100th time, you can listen to me, Bob Leather. I like to talk about the logistics of pussy holes and fucking brown asshole eyes, and talk about the inner workings of the 7-Eleven, and all the fucking spicks, looting, and the niggers that go there, stuff like that. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, hand job, and fuck that disabled queerbait motherfucker from Australia. Alright, that's all I got. Maybe try it again. Fucking listening? That you on the other end, I hear? Wheezy, fucking jerking off listening? Fucking jerking your cock. Fucking, this is Bob Leather from the Filth Radio Network. When Neely's not busy jerking his cock to picture disc of Don Dawkins and Chris isn't fucking tinkering with that stupid fucking museum, you might get to hear Bob Leather talk about asshole logistics and the inner workings of a cunt hole. Thick Latinas, twisted pussy lips that are all fucked up, and maybe I'll comment on that ass wipe from Australia. Fuck Tim James. Hail and pal, fuck you.
Hail and
all right,
pal.
Fuck you, nigger.
Hail and pal.
I know, but that last part, okay, fuck you, nigger. Wow. All right, Bob Leather called in, phoned in his thoughts on the release of the new Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Let's take a listen.
Hey, it's Bob Leather. It's Friday afternoon. It's 73 degrees. It's raining. Seems, I'm going to make this short. Seems like it'd be a good time for the new Iron Maiden. It just came out today. I listened to it on Apple Music, whatever their free Jew service is.
I like the fact that he always starts off his message with the weather.
Yeah, I know.
It's always the weather report. It's 72 degrees here in South Florida. It's raining.
That's right.
But Apple's Jew music service.
Yeah, their Jew music service.
Right. Is Apple Jewish?
Wozniak,
is that Jewish? He's Jewish?
Or Jobs.
Jobs?
Is that Jobsiak or something?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right.
Really in later. I went and looked at it at Best Buy and decided, maybe I should listen to it. So I have one word review for this album, Iron Maiden. One word, it's asinine. It's fucking just an absurd asinine. It sucks shit. How about that?
Now, was he listening to her friend John Rufo?
He must have been.
Wasn't that something that John once said about Eddie Trunk? He sucks shit.
Yes.
Well, apparently Bob Leather has picked up on John Rufo's, description.
No kidding.
So Bob Leather not happy with the new Iron Maiden. It sucks shit.
Wow.
It's asinine.
That's a harsh review.
It is. All right. I don't see that ending up on pittriff.com.
No, probably not.
All right. Well, here we go.
3-word review for the brand new Iron Maiden. Asinine sucks shit. I'm fucking listening to him. I'm like, God, are my speakers fucked up for one in my car? A piece of shit gay red car anyway, but just sucks shit. It sounds, you got to strain to hear what Bruce is singing. You can't really understand the words, and I don't think he's singing about shit I care about anyway anymore. Fucking hear about demons and fucking lepers and the fucking pyramids and shit and fucking a guy killing babies in a fucking airplane. I'll listen to that. This fucking
guy killing babies in an airplane.
They killed a baby in an airplane? I didn't hear that song.
I didn't either. He's singing about demons and wizards and pyramids and a guy killing a baby in an airplane.
And lepers.
Right.
All right.
You can't even fucking hear what he's saying. Fucking sounds ridiculous. I'm dicking with this piece of shit fucking 3-band EQ in this car, and I can't get it to fucking sound right. And I listen to New Motorhead, too. That sounds a little better, but you really can't fucking hear any of these new albums. These fucking guys with their mastering technology and shit, they don't fucking know how to use it. It sounds like shit. So I put on this album last year, I think it came out by that band Huntress. Got a chick lead singer, metal band. I don't really like her lyrics, but at least I can fucking hear them, and it sounds like a band. And I'm like, all right, so my speakers aren't fucked up, so I'm like, let me try one more. I put on that Rolling Stones song that Keith Richards sings, TNA, a little TNA, whatever, from the 80s, and it fucking sounds like music. So I put a Rolling Stones song on, fucking 90s album that came out. It sounds like fucking music. I can hear it. I can't fucking hear this Iron Maiden. And so I gave it 4 shots, 4 different songs. The third song starts out with some kind of bass, and it sounds like a retarded child fucking trying to play bass, and he was able to finger up a couple notes. So his dad fucking filmed it with his iPhone, and he looped it in GarageBand because he's fucking liberal Jew bait. He's got his retarded kid, and he's going to fucking post it on Facebook.
Liberal Jew bait.
Good Lord.
Look at that picture Demon put in the chat room.
Oh, my God. Thanks, I think.
It's liberal Jew bait.
Liberal Jew bait.
Right.
Good Lord.
All right.
I thought he was British.
Yeah.
Is that liberal?
I think. I don't know.
Are the Brits liberal? I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, YouTube. It's fucking horrible. You know, some of the music, it sounds okay, but it's like, why bother? It just sucks shit. His voice, it sounds like he's fucking straining in every song. Like, and it sounds cliched. It sounds like he's fucking trying to take a shit. It just sucks.
All right. That's the end of part 1.
Oh, there's more?
Oh, yeah, there's more.
All right.
He hasn't finished his review.
All right.
So we'll go to part 2.
Okay.
All right, I wanted to keep this fucking short, this review of this fucking Iron Maiden album. It sucks fucking so much shit. It just fucking makes me angry. And I hope you fuckers don't promote this album like it's fucking good, and you put this, I don't even care if you fucking play this voicemail, but fucking truly review it. That it sucks shit. Fucking at least Judas Priest Turbo, they got some songs on there, fucking songs you can hum and remember, talking about ass play and shit.
Is there songs on Turbo about ass play?
Turbo?
That's what he said.
I'm trying to think. Turbo, Judas Priest. I got to look at the track list.
He said there's some memorable tunes on there, at least some that you could hum along to, and there's songs about ass play on there.
Well, I'll read you the track list. Turbo Lover, maybe. Locked In? I don't think so. Private Property? Maybe that's your ass. Keep your hands off my private property?
Right.
Maybe. Parental Guidance? No. Rock You All Around the World. Out in the Cold. Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days. Hot for Love? Now we're talking.
That could be some ass play there.
Or Reckless. That could be some ass play.
Sure. Well, according to Bob Leather, Turbo has ass play songs on it.
Yeah, well, maybe Bob is right.
Okay.
I just don't understand, and all these fuckers, fucking Iron Maiden sold fucking 500,000 in a week or whatever. Yeah, they're keeping metal alive. Yeah, they're fucking putting metal down because it fucking sounds like shit. They're not keeping it alive. They're fucking keeping physical media alive, fucking CDs. It sucks shit. How many times you motherfucking faggots gonna go back and listen to this Iron Maiden shit in fucking 1 year?
All right. Well, who's he referring to, you motherfucking faggots? Is he referring to the listeners of our show?
Or us.
Or us?
You know, it's interesting that he said that because I literally had that exact same conversation with Jacko last night.
Really?
We were talking about the Maiden record, and I said, yeah, I personally think it's pretty decent. You know, I don't hate it. But it's definitely not a record that you're ever going to go back to when you need a Maiden fix and go, yeah, let me pull this out.
Yeah.
You're never going to do that.
No, that I would agree with you. Talk about just off the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
What is a go-to metal record for you all the time?
Of
anybody. Just say, if I said to you, Chris, pull out a record that is your go-to record.
It would be Pantera, the Great Southern Trendkill.
Okay, there you go. So you know that right off the top of your head.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mine?
Yeah,
Metal-
Dokken, Tooth and Nail.
No, Dysfunctional.
Dysfunctional.
Or Metal Church of Light in the Dark.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Those are my go-tos.
Sure.
Those two get me going every time.
Sure.
All right.
I'll go back and listen to Nostradamus every fucking day, especially when it's raining and fucking Chris is up there in January whining about it being 2 degrees out. 2 fucking degrees. He's fucking whining like a bitch. He'd be snuggled up next to a fucking spick whore listening to fucking Nostradamus.
Will that happen, Chris? Will you be snuggling up to a spick whore listening to Nostradamus?
I wouldn't mind snuggling up to a spick whore.
When it's 2 degrees outside?
I would, especially if it's cold. I definitely wouldn't mind snuggling up to a spick whore. But man, to listen to Nostradamus to get that, ooh, that'd have to be a really long time in between pusses. It would really have to be.
Is it because of the spick whore puss, or is it because of the Nostradamus factor?
It's the Nostradamus.
So you would forego the pleasures of a spick whore puss if Nostradamus was involved. You would go,
it's
you
the
know
same
what?
as that game that we played the one time with the infirmary kids.
That's true.
It's the exact same game.
So if you had a hot spick whore,
yeah,
and said you could have this, have your way with her,
yeah,
but you have to listen to Nostradamus
every time,
you would say, nah.
Is it one time or every time?
No, just one time.
A one time I could probably deal with that.
Okay.
But every time I would end up hating her because she would be synonymous with bad sound.
How about a different spick whore each time?
I would end up hating fucking.
Nice.
Because anytime I would think about fucking, it would come with that sound.
Okay, so it's Pavlov's dog.
It is.
So every time you hear Nostradamus, it would turn you off to having a carnal encounter.
Dude, I honestly believe that if we just piped in Nostradamus to the Middle East, we could stop the violence.
Nice. Stop.
Anytime anybody starts shooting, start playing Nostradamus. It would stop within a month.
So you could stop the hate.
I could stop the hate.
Right.
Just with Nostradamus.
Okay.
Just playing songs like Plague or War or any of that bullshit on that record, that would end it.
All right.
You don't? Do you agree?
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I've listened to Nostradamus totally through.
Yeah, twice.
You hit it right on the head.
And you can't make it. It's tough.
Yeah, that is, again, this goes back to what Bob just said, is a year from now, would I reach for this Iron Maiden? And the answer would be no.
Yeah, of course not.
Would I listen to Number of the Beast? Absolutely. Yeah. Would I listen to Peace of Mind? Absolutely.
Power Slave?
Power Slave,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the classics. But if something, I don't care what it is, if every time, you like steak, right?
Absolutely. Love it.
Love it. If every time you had a perfectly cooked steak, like a nice, perfect steak.
Filet mignon, yeah.
But but in order to get that steak, you had to get punched in the fucking face.
I think that would definitely be a deterrent.
You'd stop ordering steak at some point. You'd fucking move to chicken.
Of course you would.
And this is the same thing. You're just getting, you can get puss, but you're getting punched in the fucking eardrum with this shit.
Right.
Eventually, you're going to be like, fuck, I don't even want that pussy.
Yeah.
Just don't make me listen to that.
Sure.
That's just how I think it would play.
All right. Well, Bob brings up some good arguments here. Good points.
Instead of fucking playing with an EQ on a high-fidelity sound system, trying to fucking get this new Iron Maiden to sound right.
Hold on for
Jesus
1 second.
Fuck!
Hold on. If it's a 3-channel EQ, it is not a high-fidelity system. I just have to make that point. If it only has three fucking things on it, it is a low-fidelity system.
Sure.
Definitely not high.
Yeah, every time I even hear the term high fidelity, all I can think of is records.
Yep, exactly.
They always said that on their high fidelity.
Yeah, or dead guitar players.
Yeah,
that's high infidelity.
Exactly. But that's what comes to mind.
Yep.
All right.
These fucking guys, what are they up to, man? It just sucks. They're going to go out and tour, and fucking Bruce is going to strain, and it's fucking horrible. The new Jimi Hendrix came out today, 1970, some Atlanta 8 festival he played in 1970. God, and that fucking sounds good. The guy smokes, it fucking sounds like real instruments. There's not all this compression, and he doesn't have fucking, another thing about Maiden, 3 guitar players. There's not sonic fucking room in these digital shit the way they record. They have 3 fucking guys playing guitar. It sounds like fucking dog shit. You can't hear a goddamn thing. The snare drum's fucking compressed to hell. It doesn't even fucking sound real. This shit, it makes me fucking nuts. And to think that I considered paying $21 for a fucking gay fucking CD with a booklet.
Instead of, soothing the savage beast and having an enjoyable listening experience,
right?
This is just enraged Bob Leather.
But dude, there are definitely people like that with every band. I'm like that. If I get a band that I really like and they put out a shit record, I'm absolutely pissed. It does ruin my day.
Well, but the thing is, here's what makes you different than, say, most people.
Yeah.
You don't go buy CDs because of your lofty position in the pitch riff hierarchy.
Yeah. As senior management.
Yeah. You get the CDs for free.
Sure.
And I know that, you still, even after all these years, you still have your favorites.
Of course.
And, of course, you want your favorites to please.
Right.
And when they don't, it almost pisses you off for the whole day.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, God damn it. I look, and I'm going to feel that way about the Metal Church if it comes out and it sounds like shit.
Yep.
Because I'm such a Metal Church fan.
Right.
That if it sounds like grunge or something, I'm going to go, what were these guys thinking? I waited all year for this thing.
Dude, you know what record made me that way? Fucking, what's Hell to Pay? Dawkins' Hell to Pay.
Yeah.
When I heard that record, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or anything from Queensryche from Q2K on.
Yeah, that was a disappointment year. Well, same with Metallica, year after year. Every time they put out something new, it was just like...
I still like them. But dude, there's been a bunch of those bands that we like, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? And it does. It's annoying because you expect them to be good.
So in light of the new Queensryche,
yes,
the brand new one, were you like, oh my God, finally?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the best record that they've done since the classic era.
Nice.
It really, and it's really that good. Every song is solid, and you remember the last record we both thought was very flat. Or at least I did, and I'm pretty sure you weren't thrilled.
Yeah, I didn't think it had any real punch to it.
Yeah, and it felt like what it was. It was a rushed out thing where they hadn't gelled and taken the time to write good songs and whatever. And it was a rushed thing to compete with Tate. And this one just feels like they did it right. Like they toured for a long time, they grew as a band, and they wrote good songs.
Sure.
And it's really, really good. I'll tell you one that did wreck my day was that fucking Wasp record. I was pumped, even though we had heard that one song and thought it sucked. You know, the Runaway or whatever that song was, the last Runaway.
Yeah.
Whatever that was. We heard it, we didn't think it was good, but I still had hope that the Wasp.
Yeah, you thought
Wasp
maybe,
doesn't-
okay, well, this is one clunker. Maybe the rest of it will be okay.
Yeah, because Wasp is usually really, really solid.
Sure.
And then I heard it and was like, really?
The evil is gone.
Yeah, it's just blah.
Right. Well, we got a call here. Hail and kill.